Yes, you're welcome. I want to quickly teach you global and local variable. I've taught you about variable. I told you that variable is an empty space where information can be stored. The information can be either a string, which is text. It can also be a numeric variable like numbers, int, integer. It can be array, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right, now these are variables. Okay, this name, this name has this value, uche. This core variable has this value, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right. Now, well, when we talk about global and local variable, we're talking about a variable, the position of that variable, as in the variable that is inside the function and the one that is outside the function. Now, what is a function? A function actually is a piece of code that you can reuse over and over. That is, how do I put it? A function helps you to make use of a particular code over and over to perform a certain action. Okay, so for you to make use of a function, there should be a particular code you want to reuse over and over. Okay, you want to reuse it often in your coding. Then you build it within a function. Okay, the reason is for you to, number one, reduce the number of codes you are going to write, and for you to save time. Okay, save stress, save mistakes, saves a lot. Okay, you can just use you can create a code, one particular code, you use it often in your coding. Okay, all right, and this is the function we are going to create now. We're going to just create a function here. We're not going to go deep into function because what we want to teach you here is global and local variable, but we are going to start with function. Okay, now and for you to understand this global and local variable, we have to create a function to make it possible for you to understand it. Okay, very good. Now quickly, let's create a function. For you to create a function, you have to type in a function. You just function, then you put the function name. Maybe you can say function name, display name. Let's call it display name. Then when you type in the function name, you type in open and close parentheses. Okay, then come down to the next line. It mustn't be the next line, just that I like using the next line, otherwise you would have started it from here. Create query and open and close curly bracket, then press enter. Okay, but for me, I like starting to the next line, like I told you before. Okay, so the opening and closing curly bracket is created. Then come within the curly bracket. Let's create a variable right now. Let's call it name. Okay, equals to, let me just say Joe here. Joe, good. Very good. Now, this is a variable name. This is another variable name. This name is a global variable. Reason is because it is outside a function. It is not within any function. Why this one is a local variable? Reason is that it is within a function. It's within this particular display name function. Are you getting me? Now, this name variable, this local global variable can be used anywhere within this code. Okay, even if you have so many, maybe a large block of code, you can even use that at the end of this code. Okay, but you cannot use this global variable within a function unless you use global keyword. Okay. All right, but this one can only be used within this function, can't be used outside of it. You get that? So the local variable has just this function within its scope. It can't go beyond this particular function. That is the local variable. Okay, why the global variable can be used anywhere in this code. If you want to use it within a function, you have to use global keyword to be able to use it within a function. Okay, having said that, let me just echo name here. Let me just say echo Then I put, oh sorry, I will put variable name here. Remember that we have name here, which is Joe, and we have another name here, which is Uche. If we echo name, which of these names do you think it will echo? It will echo Uche. Reason is because Uche is a global variable. It will not see Joe because Joe is a local variable and it is within this function. It will only be seen within the function, not outside the function. Okay, now I will save and then run it. If I run it, you see you get Uche. Okay, you get Uche, which is this Uche. Okay, good. If I want to display a function, like if I want to call a function so that the content of the function will run, I will call the function name. Before I do that, I have to do echo. Inside the function, I say echo name. Okay. This time around, if I call the function, if I call this function this way, to call the function, you have to type in the name of the function, display underscore name, open and close, parentheses, then you close it with semicolon. This is how to call the function. You call the function name, put open and close a bracket, you close it with semicolon. That's how to call the function. So what will happen is that the content of this function, which is this, that is, it will echo name. Okay, the content of the function will display, and what will display here is name, echo name, and not this name, but this particular name, because we are now calling a function, and what is inside the function will be the one to display, not what is outside it. Okay, we save and we check it again. We see Joe displayed. I hope we are working. Very good. Now I believe you are now getting you are now understanding global and local variable idea. Okay, now let me remove this name entirely. If I want to call this particular name Uche inside this function, if I just echo name here, you see what will happen. Since there's no more name here, let's echo name. Let's see what will happen. You see, to say undefined variable, it searched for a name within this function. It didn't see any name. Even though there is name outside, it will not access it because it is not within the function. So it says undefined variable. Okay, so what we are going to do is that we are going to use global to call this name, so that we can use this name within a function. So use global keyword to say global, then you put name. Okay, simple. What I did now is that I am now telling the function that I need you to echo a name, a global variable name, that there is a name at the global scope. Okay, that I want you to echo it in this function. Okay, that's what I say. I will save it now. When I run, you are going to see Uche. The global variable can now be accessed within the function. I hope you get it now. So that's the idea of global and local variable. As we move on, you'll see when we get to projects, how to when we start creating some projects, you understand better why this global and local variable are so important. Thank you so much.